wook+live.
Welcome back to Wook Plus. I am Weekend Wook, joined by
Live,
Kevin T.
live. Chorus of
Man.
angels. It's a chorus of angels. So you know what I got at SE for you? A tour and a residency are two different things. Is where I'm going to go.
We're gonna
with
go to that conversation. There's so many different ways to hit this, but yeah, a tour and a residency are different. 4 nights, 15 nights, 10 nights at a single venue is not a tour, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Hanging out in Vegas for a month.
Right. It's just a residency. It's like the Bakers wasn't a tour, right? Anyway, we'll talk about that. That's exciting though. You know what? You know what I'm most excited about? I feel like I was gonna do this whole intro, by the way, Kev, and like have all
Oh,
these
my bad.
plugs and be professional. No, it's fine, man. It's fucking who cares? But if I seem a little sporadic, that's why. No, I'm most excited about this Dead & Co announcement. Finally, I mean, we caught wind of that a while ago, but like, I'm hoping it takes the pressure off of the fish dates a little bit, right? Like the people, the normies and the not super hardcore fish fans are not going to feel as inclined to hit the fish shows, and maybe that makes it a little bit easier for the those of us that are like, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna make it out there, but you know what I mean, right?
I think they've already come down
because,
a lot.
right,
Anyway,
15 dead shows. There's no so people are going to be like, well, screw it. I was going to go see Fish, but I'll go see the Dead because I got a better chance.
no, I think it's already gone down anyway because of the festival as well, too. Like now, just as more shows get announced and come out, the less the need is to see it necessarily there, especially speculating, knowing that they're going back next year as well, and probably will play double the amount next year if they're playing this year. So it's not like the urgency of, oh my god, we have to see them now. And besides, so I don't know. Yeah,
I think there's a group of people continuing too that are like heady, but like not necessarily like hardcore fish fans. Probably prefer Dead & Co, but like before they knew Dead & Co was official, they're like, I like fish enough, and I really want to experience the Sphere. So they were probably looking at those tickets, but now that they have more options, they're like, fuck it. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys, who would you rather see? Who do you think is going to have a better handle and a better?
I want to see Dead & Company
at the Sphere. You think they're going to take advantage of the venue better?
They have so much iconic graphics. The huge blues for Allah across the screen, or a steal your face rising up behind them during He's Gone or something is just going to be mesmerizing.
I think I don't know. I'd rather see Fish there just because I think they're so creative. They're like you never know where they're coming from. Like everything is always left field. Like you're like, oh, they're gonna do this or it's gonna look like this, and it's completely incredibly awesomely different than like what you thought it would be. So
yeah,
I'm more interested to see what their creative team has come up with and like what they've been planning on to. But to your point, Kev, I mean, the Dead have always had the graphics behind this, like, the stuff going on. And so, I mean, I would hope it goes a little bit deeper than just that type things, because you're in this like
that just works there.
I don't know. I feel like I could see the Dead & Co show in my mind exactly what it's going to look like. Like, like they're going to have
Mickey all slow motion beating
the kaleidoscope, roses and the steely. And...
I will tell you this though, I don't know if I can handle space and Mickey beam.
Oh my god,
that's when they're going to go creative. Is
on strong acid in the Sphere. Like that may freak my shit out.
Is it a smarter move to do 15 shows over a month or 4 shows in a week?
For Dead & Co, it's 15 over a month, and for Fish, it's 4 in a week. I think they both.
But I'm saying what's
no? But I think they both made the smart decision for their band
fans,
and their fan base.
100%.
That's what I mean. Like it's not a one size fits all. I think.
So what does that say? Are you saying that Fish's fan base only wants 4 shows?
No, but I think they travel like they're more inclined to go for that weekend over that for that. And like I feel like Dead & Co spread out is a lot makes more sense. It's much more viable. It's much more And it makes more
like Fish should have done 12 shows over. I feel like Fish should have done 12 shows over a month and given everybody a chance to fly.
I don't think they have that. I don't think they have that schedule, like that ability right now, and schedule wise to do or want to do that. I think 4 shows is just sort of dipping their toes in to feel it out. I think Dead and Co. This was always the plan. Like when they said we're not touring anymore,
right?
Always the plan.
This is it for Dead and Co. This is their big fucking thing. This is all they're gonna do. This is like Celine Dion in Vegas, right? They're old. They're not doing, and they're gonna draw it to their credit. Like they're gonna draw the crowd to do it.
Dion, that's who you picked.
She has a fucking residency.
Out of everyone in the world, you picked Celine Dion, not Elvis.
Not everyone in the fucking world, Kev. Everyone that has a residency in Las fucking Vegas. It's a very niche group.
And Celine's huge. Come on.
And she's huge. She's known. That's like she's literally known for having a Vegas residency.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, she did. You Shook Me All Night Long, and you should look it up and not watch it because she murders.
I can just tell Kev's gonna get under my skin tonight. I feel
like
he's gonna do it on purpose.
Do you think if it's successful or like if it's 14 shows or the 15 or over 50,
the Dead and Co version?
Yeah, the Dead and Co version. Is there a chance then of them coming back? Because this is like it, right? Like we just said, they're not.
This
they're not
is
like
it. In 2 years,
would they come back later in the year for like a fall run or like a New Year's thing, or would it just be next year do more show? Like, is this sort of like Fish? I feel like Fish is testing the waters, right? I think 4 nights is sort of like, let's see how this goes. Let's see what this is. Let's see if we can make it bigger and what's there. Dead and Co. I feel like we said. This is our place. Like we're residencying up. We're bunkering down. But if it's like a huge success, do you come back in the fall? Do you make?
But I think it matters. What's going to matter is who else books, because Beyonce, Madonna, Taylor Swift, everybody has their eye on the Sphere.
Well, right, but it's funny that the next 2 acts after you two are Fish and Dead and Co. Like I would have never bet that. Like in a million years,
I would no, because for experimental new things where you need early adopters, hardcore fan base. That's what
I mean. It makes sense, sure, but like honestly, if you thought coming out of you two, like Fish would be the next thing in April, and how late it got. Like I thought, I don't know. The whole thing is weird the way just like the progression is weird and not getting artists.
Weird, man.
It is because you figure there'd be artists lined up or whatever ready to go in there, that they'd have people ready to follow up, but it felt like it was very much like not like that.
Why? Yes, because people are going to jump. I mean, would people jump? Is that why she's not going to play the Sphere?
What are you talking about?
He was like, Taylor's not going to play the Sphere.
Because she sells out football stadiums with 100,000 people every fucking
but are you
going
to go see Taylor Swift 3, 4, 5 nights in a row? No, people are going to buy tickets for one night, fly in and see it.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You are 100% wrong.
100% wrong.
Let's put Kevin in the penalty box for a second and have an adult conversation. Jesus Christ.
She would have to do like
I'm so triggered right now.
6-month run.
Sorry.
It's something we're gonna set that aside. Taylor Swift isn't playing the Sphere. No, stop it. You guys are jumping between like 30 fucking topics. Let's just talk about one at a time. God damn it. I don't remember what we were talking about. Go ahead.
I don't either. Kevin completely derailed us.
We were talking about the Dead and Company at the Sphere and generally the Sphere. And
right.
Who I would, who I'd love.
Nope. Right. I know. I think part of the problem is because how tight construction was to schedule wise and scheduling the bands in, that they had to have a grace period. So I think that's why they had the slow roll. I think you're going to see a huge uptick in artists, not Taylor Swift, but I think you're going to have a huge uptick in artists in the coming year at the Sphere.
I would think so too. I think once it sort of starts growing type thing is what I feel. I'm just surprised that like Fish and Dead and Co are the two.
Well, Fish has MSG Entertainment. Like they're like,
makes sense totally, but it's
together.
still just a funny thing because again, it's such a odd. And only 4 shows for people to be like,
who should play the Sphere is Talking Heads.
All right, let's go out of order. You want to talk about the Talking Heads? Like you give this segue to the last
now
topic.
You're supposed to figure out how to transition back to the Grateful Dead out of that.
There, right there. That was the transition.
See, this is why I get random messages on Twitter. It's like, hey, man, why do you hate Kevin? And it's like, I don't hate Kevin. I love Kevin. I talk to him every day. But we're like brothers, and he knows how to fuck with me and get under my skin. And, you know, if anyone else gives Kevin shit, I'll be the first one to defend him. But I also have to be like, what the fuck, man? Oh, God, I'm so triggered. I can't believe how frustrated I got all built up in a very short period of time.
I just hope that you have a picture of the grateful bracket to show us.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about that, and maybe we'll come back to the sphere
Oh,
since
no,
we
let's
just
go
hit
through
it.
the list. Let's go through the
Well, that's the next thing on the list. So
that's what I'm saying. Do we have a picture of it somewhere we can look at? For those who haven't seen it. Oh, there it is. Nice. I am so excited for this. No Terrapin this time, guys, because Terrapin is the winner there.
Let's take a deep breath. I you know what? I think that's what we gotta do. Just take a breath. We're gonna let it set for a second. All right. That's not the right one. Yeah, as Kev was alluding to, Terrapin is thanks, Jason. Terrapin won the first year, so that is out. So now we're gonna see who is the second best dead song. Who you got? Who do you think is gonna win?
Eyes.
Yeah. Now, what if we switched it to YouTube and didn't do it on Twitter? Do you think that impacts it?
Yes.
For an audience?
It probably end up being a Bobby tune then. Playing.
Playing?
Wow.
Playing could sneak in there if you do that.
Playing is a top tune, but I think Cumberland should win because I'm high on Cumberland.
You're fucking crazy, is what you are.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Kevin, just left field.
I was like, I thought you're like you're 50% of our dead experts, and you're out here fucking dropping Cumberland and Playing.
Cumberland is a top 10 dead song,
right?
For everything, you take everything in.
Top 15, but to be number 2,
yeah.
Like I think Playing is a closer.
I said it could win.
I said Eyes because Eyes is going to win. You can cut this.
I hope so. That
we're 13 minutes in. Cut that.
I think Eyes probably should win, but I wouldn't be surprised or disappointed if like Dark Star, snuck in there.
Oh, right.
I think Dark Star is a good chance. I personally am a big stan of the other one, but I don't think that's gonna make the Final Four. I think that'll be in the Elite 8. But
you don't think that would make the final? What is your Final Four then?
I don't remember how it's seeded because we kind of did like a random thing, but probably Eyes, Dark Star.
Pull it up. Can we see each of the things? Let's take a minute and look at it. If we pull up each of the number 1 seeds, it's probably going to be them or a 2 seed.
It is. It's Eyes, Dark Star. I think Playing, and the other one maybe, or it's either Playing or Estimated.
So 2 Bobby tunes and 2 Jerry tunes is pretty cool.
Yeah, Ed, I'll put out a black and white version of it that you could fill out. And what we did last time, which I really like, is you fill it in and then post it and share it and like tag us, and then we could kind of track and see how people do. But the colored one's the one we'll really push and use for, because I just think it looks dope the way it's colored in. Can we see quad by quad? Yeah, we could do that. Oh wait, no, let's not do it this one. Let me share my screen. Hold on. So I'll show it on like a PDF view.
Tim's over in the corner, hidden behind the banner.
Did I say that out loud? It's like, shut the fuck up. All right, we're not gonna go in order, but Dancing versus Saint of Circumstance. This song has grown on me so much. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Saint is a great song.
First,
it's one of my top Bobby tunes.
I remember the first time I heard it when I was like a young kid. I just felt like it was like wrong. Like it just because it's odd, it's a little bit odd. It's a little bit stretched, and I'm like, but as I don't know, time's gone on, it's really grown. But yeah, I don't know. Do we want to read every single?
No, go to the middle. Go to the middle matchup to see who the number 1 is for each.
Well, it's on both sides. So it's like Truckin' and Eyes are the top 2 from this
Right. So Eyes is going to beat Truckin' end of the day. And I think Eyes is going to crush We Can Run in the beginning. That's a 91-9.
And Truckin's going to crush Samba in the Rain.
Well, what do you think of that tune, T? You were around back then. We Can Run.
We Can Run?
It's kind of, I don't know, man. It's so preachy.
It's preachy.
Throwing trash in your backyard and you act like
very much of that time, you know, and it's very Brent, and it just sort of, I don't know, it kind of fit the album, I felt like, and it fit them at that time.
Right at that moment.
You know, yeah. How we talked about last night, like sometimes just their songs where they were at that time, and that was one of those that kind of just fit where they were at that time.
So then this is the 2. This is the 2
Dark Star
7.
Oh my God!
Dark
what
Star
a travesty! What is going on there? I mean,
I don't know. We can adjust it. It's not final. I asked you like 7 days in a row.
Like it is. If I'm melting looking at it right now, imagine the traction you're going to get. But having Dark Star and playing is the Final Four.
Don't put this all on me. You that's
pretty funny.
And I tell you what, in that matchup, personally, I would probably take playing
against what? Ship of Fools?
No, against Dark Star.
Oh, but it's not playing that until the end, right? You're not looking at it.
Yeah, I'm thinking down the road.
This is the controversial one because I know some people that are going to say this makes sense, and other people are going to be like, these two don't belong in the top 4 or 5, but this is Broke Down versus Estimated. I think they're in the conversation. I feel a little
down going to the final 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think it was 9. It was 9 last year, and it slid in when Terrapin got out.
Oh, right. Man, Broke Down is such a. I've cried more than once with the mama line, thinking about my mother after all strung out all night. You're like, oh no.
Thought you were gonna say you were thinking about your Broke Down palace, your old castle.
And the mama in many worlds I've known, and you're like, I'm in a Grateful Dead show in the middle of nowhere.
I want to talk to Martin real quick because Martin's throwing some shit in the chat that I want to explain. So first was if the other one was in the Final Four. It actually is seeded in the Final Four because it's Scarlet Begonia is the other one. I just could see it not getting the love that I think it absolutely deserves. The other thing is the very first year we ever did a Grateful Dead bracket, I made the decision to keep paired songs together. So like you're saying, like Help Slip, but we actually did HSF and Scarlet Fire, and the final for the whole bracket ended up having 5 songs because it was Scarlet Fire versus HSF, and I was like, we can't do that anymore. As it made sense when you're just looking at it for the first time, and you're like, oh, it Help Slip, you can't separate, but
China Rider is the one I always think of. They're like joined at the hip,
Right. China Rider's a great example, but we had a few of them, and we ended up with 5 songs in the final. So that's why they're all separated. So Help Slip, China Rider, Scarlet Begonia's Fire in the Mountain, they're all separate. They all have their own little slot. So we'll see how they do.
Nice.
I think this is really going to be a really hard. There's a bunch of really hard final matchups. I think.
Poor Vince. Fucking Vince gets no love. He goes up against the other one. He's going to get 1%. There isn't even going to be a troll vote. One long way to go.
You should have set it up so Brent went against Vince.
Another SmackDown. The poor guy, man. He gave himself a Colombian necktie, and you're continuing to pile on.
I am not. I'm not piling on at all. I happen to like Vince. I don't have a problem with Vince at all.
Look at the shading and the line work on these roses. I'm just showing off for a second. I'm very proud of this one with the coloring of it. Isn't that cool looking? I did this all. I drafted all of this. None of this was pulled in stock features. I drew them all in CAD. I guess drafted them all. Well, the shading is done, but
where is Morning Dew? That's a good question.
Dew. I don't know. I think I remember it vaguely being up here.
If 2's not in the top 8, what are we doing?
Right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Where? Oh, there it is. Whoa. Yeah, it is in the top.
It's 16. Way down.
It's on one of the long lines.
Is that in the Dark Star
No,
bracket?
this is the eyes one, the eyes struck him
Oh,
one.
it's in the eyes.
Oh,
one.
so
That's
it'll make
even
it to the
worse.
16. You
Yeah,
have
That's
that'll
what
make
I'm
it
saying.
there.
You can tell by
16.
the long
Yeah.
lines. It should follow the ones that are on the long spine should follow down. So it should be down
That
here. It
sucks.
should
It's
be
gotta
down
go
here.
against
It's gonna go
eyes
against
eventually.
eyes. It's gonna be eyes
Yeah.
versus do.
That's
Do.
tough.
Come on, Tim.
Tough. That's tough. That's
Yeah,
tough.
that is tough.
All right.
Decisions must be made.
Well, you know what we need to decide. Where are we gonna host
What's
this
that?
motherfucker?
When does it start?
We gotta decide that too.
Well, it starts when we decide where it's going to be hosted.
The plan is 2/4/24, which
and
is
I say
Sunday.
Twitter. I say Twitter is where.
Well, we knew you were going to say Twitter, so your vote is counted. Noted.
Noted. If you don't do Twitter, where else will it be? Well, even when if you do, where all will it be? Let's say that.
So we're down to two options. It's either going to be on Twitter through the wook+ account. They used to be through the Weekend Wook account, but I just have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to run every single poll because I don't like going on that app every day. So multiple of us run the wook+ account, so just for backup. So it'll either be through the wook+ account on Twitter or through the wook+ channel on YouTube, which I like the idea because this is what we are. We're a YouTube channel, right? And I like the idea of bringing people to the channel. Problem is that Google and YouTube doesn't have a great way of like creating a thread and holding the poll. So I feel like it's going to get chaotic. The only thing that X has going for it, which is a carryover from back in the day, is that you could literally have a very concise thread. Like even now, I can go back and look at the old fish brackets and go eat round by round by round in order and see how it progresses. I don't think you could do that. So then the third option would be to do both YouTube,
Twitter. It is
and Twitter, and run two simultaneous. Because this is what I'm talking about though. With like Eric, I have no problem telling people on Twitter to fucking subscribe on YouTube and come find the poll on YouTube. I kind of have a little, not an issue, but like I don't feel super great about telling people on YouTube to go on the Twitter if you're not there. Like if you chose to stay in the cesspool, I'm not judging you. I still go on from time to time. Like it's cool, but like you've chosen to live in that world, so I don't want to like encourage other people to be that have like decided to get away from it.
So many people outside of the anti-melon coalition live in that world is the thing, I guess.
I don't think it has anything to do with him. Honestly, this isn't like I'm a fuck Tesla or anything. This is like
run a vote.
It's a shit app now. It's lit. It's like
maybe you should maybe we should run a vote on both Twitter and on YouTube and see where we should host it and see what everyone says. And then
YouTube's going to say YouTube and Twitter's going to say Twitter, and then what we're going to notice is that
Twitter's going to see how many people.
More engagement,
right? Well, that's just it, exactly. So, what do you want to do?
Right. I don't know if any of that's even that important though, because if we had 100, 200, 300 people that were like hardcore and were into it, it would be just as fun as having a few thousand people that I don't even fucking know anyway, right? And
but it makes it much more interesting.
Or we could do a show every day and do a poll during the show, and we just talk about the results. And you have an hour window every day that you vote, and we just have a stream every one.
That sounds very Chad.
World's greatest Chad show.
Like by the week 3, we're like, I'm gonna kill you. I hate this.
Right, because the first round is gonna be such bullshit. It's like, so 5 votes are in. It's already decided.
The answer is to do both.
No, I don't think that's the answer.
I think that's more work. But you could set it up on Twitter though, right? Every day to push to YouTube and say, go vote in the poll on YouTube, and then hopefully just get people to siphon off and go there from those links that
we could sell it as, like SE said, your vote counts twice because you can vote here on Twitter and then go to YouTube and also vote.
No, I have a way better idea, because that's just going to confuse the fuck out of people. Because when one song wins on one and one on the other, and
you can't vote on both. It's more you just say go from Twitter. You say go vote on
both.
No, we're gonna do an old scam artist move. What do you call it?
Nice.
Hook and switch or bait and switch?
Bait and switch.
We're gonna start it on X for the first few rounds, and once everybody's committed and wants to know who wins, once we get to the Sweet 16, we switch the polls to YouTube, so that the way the people on YouTube, like who I value a little bit more, like I know, and you know what, people are watching on Twitter right now. You guys are fine, like I'm not judging you, but I value team chat and a YouTube a little more. So you'll get the best matchups that matter.
Take it one step further, Tim, and make it only for members once it gets inside the Sweet 16. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to vote.
We got PT Walker over
vote,
here.
but you gotta pay to see the results.
Yeah.
We got.
Hey, we can hire an intern. We'll take applications. It's not paid. But
Members Final Four, exactly.
Members Final Four. I love it.
We can call ourselves Peacock.
That's right, man. We got to make some money here.
I love that. Right. That's a great compromise. We'll do the first couple of rounds on Twitter, and don't tell anybody. Let's just keep this between us.
Don't tell anybody. Shh. All right. All you guys. Shh.
No, well, I mean, all you guys will know, like right? And you will know, but don't tell everybody else because they won't
start
know.
To fuck with people in like the third round.
You don't want to start. You don't want to post it from the beginning and be like, "Hey, vote now," but know that we're moving this eventually. So
no,
it's not.
I want to get everybody really interested and intrigued and like, fuck yeah, let's go.
And then they're gonna be like, "Where did it go, man? What the fuck, Tim? Where did it go? We're gonna go to YouTube, bitch."
I don't know. Should we tell people?
You rigged the election.
Sounds more rigged.
All right. So now the chat's making me feel like that's a bad idea. Now I'm feeling like
I love the idea. It's so punk rock,
right? Pull the carpet out, bait and switch. Let's do it. It's not like we're saying you can't vote. We're just changing the venue, and we will make it well known so everybody knows where to find it. We will. Every day we'll post the links.
We're closing down some of the polling places, so you have to travel
further. We're sorry. X got gerrymandered out of this.
Right. The wook and switch, exactly.
I don't know.
Over here. And then we're going to move.
I think that's what we're going with. So look for the polls coming soon. 2-4.
Well, I think it's great because Tim, you can even you can update it on Twitter too and be like, here's who won this round.
Who won, if you want to vote.
Right.
And what we'll do is take screenshots of where they're at every like couple hours and post those. And then because a lot of people aren't on X anymore, we could share those on Blue Sky and
Instagram,
Threads and Insta and all these others. And so like people,
Facebook.
It's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Remember the Facebook.
So while we're trying to close down one polling site, Kev, we're actually opening up doors to others.
No, this is a great compromise. This is why we work so well together.
I love that we figured this shit out live too, because I was like, we got to go into the show knowing what we're doing, and we had no idea. And you're like, let's just do it live, and I don't know, but it worked out. We came up with a good.
See, now we don't have to have a meeting about it either. Fantastic, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't meet anymore. That's not how this shit works. All right, let's keep moving on.
Yes.
I don't actually know anything about this.
We got Angry Goose the first day, kind of mid Goose the second day. The third day, it sounded like That's What Love Will Make You Do. And today sounded very jam bandy, Spafford kind of.
So jammy, like almost 90s jam bandy, like a GSW or something, like a very jammy. I like the little visuals though. I think it's fun teases that they're doing.
There's cryptic messages in that shit, man. They ban that shit on TV ads.
The little the flashes in there. Like, I mean, hey, they do a lot of crazy marketing gimmick gag things to get their shit out there.
Sick,
good
though.
for them. Yeah, good for them. I love it.
Did you ever see the movie?
What?
Yes, Kev. We saw the movie.
Oh yeah, it was really
I got
bad.
a copy of it actually stored away somewhere.
Classic.
I don't know. Hey. Initially, before they started putting the music to it, I got like National Treasure ripoff vibes. Like it was just kind of like a little too on the nose and heavy-handed. I was like, come on, man, like really? But the music's actually pretty okay, right? Like it's pretty
Now,
decent.
did you the
I'm
one
intrigued.
picture? They had a picture with Rick giving the middle finger, and it looked like Ben was on the couch.
Was that a recent picture? You
Yeah, I
didn't give
put
me
it
the
in our
context.
fucking
I know
thread.
you put it in the thread. You didn't give any context though. You just said, "Look, Ben's on
Look,
the couch."
Looks like Ben on the couch, and
Right.
then
That's all
drops
you.
it
You
and leaves.
literally posted a picture and said Ben's on the couch.
I
I was like, okay,
expected
what
you
does
to
that mean?
read what was in the screenshot of the
No,
original tweet.
no, I
Or
did not.
it was from the Instagram, actually. It was Zuck's thing.
So was it a recent? Was it like from the
That's what I'm
recording session?
asking. I don't know.
You posted like it was a fucking scoop,
I
and
would
you
think
don't know when
they
it
haven't
was.
toured, they haven't been on the road since the middle of December, so I think they probably spent January in the studio. And I don't know why that picture popped up like that, unless it was
An old picture that somebody's just
right.
posting.
So why are you fucking with me?
Because all right, let me explain. I don't want to be a dick about it. So
Not you fucking with me. I'm saying the person who posted the picture.
But I am fucking with you. But this is why, because there's a certain level of we're not like the post like or some like news outlet, but there's some level of due diligence. If you're gonna bring a scoop, take the extra 3 minutes to look into it and say, hey, this picture is from this month, or hey, this picture was taken 3 years ago, and give the context. So then when we come on YouTube and we're like, oh, we saw a picture of Ben sitting on the couch in the studio. And then someone in chat's like, yeah, that's from 3 years ago. I don't have to feel like a fucking idiot because we took the 3 minutes to figure out what the fuck the picture's from. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a certain level of responsibility when you're like, I mean, I guess we could just fucking,
Really?
No, I
That's
don't
what you're
know.
going with at the bottom of the hour. That's what you're going with.
It's not the. Jesus,
Where did you get it?
Hour.
I don't know. Somebody doing Facebook. It was in one of the Goose groups. I put on my suit every day and go on Facebook for a little while and look at the fish groups and the Goose groups. And there's
for big
not
headlines,
nice
for heady
people.
news.
People are so angry and like, and just, it's like a high school cafeteria. And I'm never at the cool kids table. So, but I go in and check
you
it
are
out.
Literally you're doing the headline reading where you don't click and find the context and sharing the headline. I'm just saying, let's read the article. That's all.
And I'm out in the smoking section because when I was in high school, we had a smoking section.
They got rid of it my senior year. I was at the transition.
We had a hill across the street. Like you had to cross the street, and then there was a hill, and it was like the Smoker's Hill. That's where you could
every year in high school they moved it further and further. My freshman year, it was like right out the door from the cafeteria. Right, there was like a concrete stoop and and then it was across the parking lot, and then it was over by the tennis courts, like and then at my senior year it was gone. You basically had to go off.
Yeah, they moved it completely off campus to the grocery store.
But like this was still when like 50% or more of like the seniors smoked, so everybody just left and went off campus. And then the next year I heard you weren't even allowed to go off campus. Like that's when they got rid of and then everybody had it's bullshit, man. I mean, whatever, it was a long time ago.
It's good to be on the bell end of that curve.
Do we have anything else to say about Goose? I feel like this is the Goose speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't want to come back to
Goose. What's next? I think the next thing is the most interesting.
Moving on.
Oh, yeah. I think this is interesting. The oldest touring artist list. So I couldn't remember who the fuck posted this, and then it turns out it was Kev. But this is an interesting list Kevin found. Hopefully he did a little more due diligence with this.
Can we see
4 years ago?
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. Willie Nelson is definitely right on. Now the thing that I got the most comments on was no Grateful Dead members, specifically no Bob Weir was listed on there.
How old is Bobby?
Bobby's old as dirt. He was old when water was new.
You don't know how Kev.
Phil is older than Bobby by 9 years. I'll give you that. So if we figure out one of them, we know what the other one
Bobby's
is.
76.
But I would
Phil
argue
is 85.
I think you could argue at this. Is Phil still full touring though? Isn't he mostly playing at his home venue and occasionally
he plays
at
Shapiro venues? Yeah, Terrapin closed down. He plays Shapiro venues now.
But he's not like full tour. I think Bobby tours more than Phil does.
Yeah, I guess it says touring. John Mayo has retired, yes. So he probably doesn't count anymore.
So is this an old list?
No, it's I mean, this is recent.
I think somebody just pulled up who's still alive and threw it there and threw touring in. If they had to just put the oldest musicians still kicking, then everybody gets in.
Yeah, but then I'm not. That's okay.
There's your boy. What? There's your boy Eric Clapton, Kev. 78.
Yeah, old slow hand.
Blow hand.
I didn't realize how old Clapton was.
Well, what did his shirt say? We'll blow for Coke or something?
Can we just say though, for 77, both Iggy Pop and Cher are
Iggy Pop, yeah. Yeah, because the Stooges were like 10 years after Sonny and Cher. That's so weird.
Out of this list, who would you be most excited to catch or see?
Ooh, my kid wants to see. My youngest wants to go see Dylan so bad. So I'm really trying to make that happen for her this year.
I don't think I would want to go see Dylan.
I've seen him like 15, 20 times probably since 88 when he started the Never Ending Tour. But she wants to go. And if she's that into Dylan that she's like,
yeah, no, do that for her. That's awesome.
I'd like to see Tom Jones and I'd like to see John Fogerty.
Is Tom Jones still doing the Vegas thing?
I don't know.
I wish we knew what Llama thought. That was your cue to come in, Llama, and tell us what you were thinking. McCartney, though, I mean, God,
that's who I want to see.
McCartney, and I just want to shoot myself because he played in Baltimore, and I was like, I'm not spending $400 a seat.
I'm not either, but
can I just tell you, I used to do a lot of Coachellas back in the day, and he was probably the best performance I'd seen through Coachella, and I've seen him like 3-4 times now, but that performance was absolutely outrageous. He was the one that started sort of pushing later into the like longer shows past midnight. I mean, it was epic. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've heard his last couple of tours have been like phenomenal for how old he is.
That's crazy. That I mean,
I can't believe all these guys and girls in their 80s are still fucking doing this. I'm half that age, and I think about I literally think about retirement every day. I don't think there's a single fucking day where I'm not like, man, I can't wait to retire.
But if you're a musician, it's just I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, they're not doing the grind, and they live for it, and they're gonna die on stage and yada. I don't give a shit, man. They're also, you know what else they are? Most of them are fucking wealthy as shit. And you know, like they could just fucking find an island and not play for their friends and not have to do that shit.
Right. Steve Miller, that makes me chuckle because in the 80s, he played every summer at Merriweather and I went to see him. And then he opened for the Dead a few times and he's still kicking around. Every summer you can still go
every summer, Red Rocks, every summer.
You know what he's the king of? The radio station ticket giveaway. I feel like everywhere I am anytime I travel, no matter where you are in the country,
for Steve Miller for you tonight.
Be the 7th caller and you get tickets to see Steve Miller band. And you're like I could be in South Carolina, New Jersey, Colorado. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what time of year. Right now, there's a radio station in America giving away tickets.
Totally.
That's a tweet. You should tweet that shit. You should be tweeting that right now while you're saying it because I'm going to steal it if you don't.
It's 77.
Everybody's going to know, though.
Ian Anderson. Yeah, that's crazy. Elton John, 70. I think he just retired though too, so he'll come off that.
Yeah, list. Elton John is off the tour, but you know what? Final never means final in final tour.
That's right.
Learned anything.
Right.
That's right. I expect to see Elton John in a residency at the Sphere.
Like
I would love that. I think Elton John at the Sphere would be fucking incredible.
I've seen The Who on 4 of their final tours. I've seen The Cure on 5 of their final tours.
Wait. Who put that up?
Herb Albert. That guy. I mean,
is this Llama's way of coming in now because he doesn't want to come in?
I bet they have
sending notes.
They wheel him out on one of those things you use to move boxes and furniture. The 2 wheels that you lean back. They just wheel them out and set them up on stage.
Sorry, I lost interest in our own topic. I was like, yeah, it's fun. Let's move on.
How come we didn't have the fish guy suing the other fish guy?
It got old.
Because there's a paywall. And I wasn't going to fucking... Oh, you didn't even click the headline. God damn it, Kev. Tell me the story. You want to talk about it. You want to talk about it. Let's talk about
apparently, one fish fan who's a lawyer filed a suit against another fish fan who's a lawyer in Colorado for being naked and trying to push towards the rail or something like that.
Right, being naked and ... Click here for the paywall. Kev's like, fuck that, I'm not going past this paywall, but we'll talk about it. And then when I get to the paywall, I'll just say, or something like that. That is crazy, though. There's a lot of, there are a lot of lawyer fish fans. That's probably the biggest, like, profession, right? Like, I've met a lot of, like, pediatrician and, like, you know, family doctors. I've met a lot of, like, engineers, but I think, and also a lot of blue collar, you know, like, oh, I work at the factory. I work, you know, I'm an electrician. But I feel like lawyers is the biggest overall.
I'm shocked at how many dentists I meet after every show.
Oh, dentists too. Dentists and lawyers.
With their nitrous tanks in their car. It's crazy.
I thought that fish fans had to have Esquire as their last name for the longest time.
I mean, it might also be something about, like, what you have to spend to go on fish tour these days.
Oh, teachers, yes, Team Jeff.
Oh, teachers, yeah, a lot of teachers. A lot of teachers.
There you go.
My oldest, dearest fish friend is a teacher, and she's been doing it for 20-some years and every day. And then we have our friend Steph on Twitter who hangs out with us at Dick's, and she's a teacher and does wonderful work for those kids. So we love them.
Did you guys hear about this green sky thing? Was this real?
No. What is this? I didn't put this in the chat.
Did you click the headline?
I know it was reports from the crowd, and I tried like hell to tell if it was real or not, and I couldn't because there were a lot of corroborating witnesses, but it seems so fantastical. It seems so outlandish.
What is the story?
It's gross. Do you want me to tell you? It's
really so gross. You put it on the fucking list.
I know, but I was hoping somebody else would know what I'm talking about. So apparently, what I was reading,
I thought it was string cheese and green sky played together.
No. Green sky. I'm gonna say poop. Situation.
What, they made the big time? Someone pooped at a show.
Someone pooped at a show, but not only that. The group of people around it got sick from the witness, because apparently they were like moving in it, and so they got sick. So it turned into one of those like Adam Sandler movies where like a whole portion of the floor had to be cleared out
because like people stepped in the shit and then threw up.
And then people stepped in the throw up, and all right, let's move on. New topic.
In reaction, the Goonies. No. That was like Stand By Me too, where they had the pie eating contests, and the dude puked.
I suddenly realized that this was a terrible. This is a terrible topic.
The fish lawyer thing on. You should have had the fish lawyer thing on. At least I was just a naked guy.
Stand By Me. That's right. Jason knows.
All right.
You know who would know about that? We should get Jam Band News.
Tell the story of the
There was this great Twitter account called Jam Band News or something at one time.
You mean the Wook News Network?
Yes, the Wook News Network.
Oh man.
We talk about talking heads.
Yeah,
can I just tell you what I think?
Let's just get it over with.
Can I just tell you that if you're Live Nation, screw you. Offer them 120 million.
Right.
Offer them whatever it takes to get back together. And instead of saying play a bunch of festivals and have to travel across the country, play 8 nights at the Sphere.
Oh wait, I found the Reddit article, and there's a lot of corroborating things, but I'm gonna read it. And
he wants to go back to the shit article.
I can't believe someone took his shit on the floor and then someone else puked who saw it. Literally. Okay, maybe I won't do this. And then of course eventually they start talking about Nutter. Anyway, Kev, I 100% agree with you. I saw a lot of people be like, "Oh, I can't believe they turned down $80 million." Like, I can't believe they stopped the offer at $80 million. That's embarrassing. Like, I think they should have gone all out and tried to do it, honestly. And then I think the talking heads still should have. If you don't like each other, fuck it. You don't need the money.
Well, that's just it. I don't think any price doesn't matter what they offer them.
Everyone has a price.
Yeah, but see, I don't buy that because they went on fucking Colbert and sat down on a couch and pretended to be all buddy. If they didn't do the Colbert interview,
that's totally different than playing music together again, though, and doing like a tour or playing shows together and dealing with each other in that capacity. Like, it's one thing to sit on a couch and be like, yeah, we did this, blah blah blah, and like, you know, do some press runs together. It's a lot different to suddenly have to be creative together again and shit.
I don't know. I disagree. Maybe see. I don't know if I'm going to agree with what I'm about to say, but this is my inclination. Like, this is my first reaction, and I retain the right to say no. Fuck that.
See, they don't even. I think there's a lot of.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job on Colbert. But I've been in situations where I've had musicians that I've had fallen out with, and we still had really excellent jam sessions because there's an emotion there, and if you have talent, and skill, and a connection, even if you fucking hate each other, you could still have a really good, it doesn't need to be a positive lovey emotion. You just need emotion and a connection. Whereas after you're done jamming, I couldn't stand to be like, you know what I mean, in the room. So I feel like as long as they had the money, which they do, and set it up like, hey, your green room's over here, yours is over here, nobody talked to each other, just got on stage, you could still make it work for the fans and not for the money. Honestly, it's for the fans because of how sudden it was and how much it would mean to so many people. I think that's why you do it.
There you go. See, now you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Well, but I think I don't know. Some bands don't want to be like the Eagles and bury the hatchet for money and be like, yes, we can like.
No, but for their fans, it's not like the Eagles or even like
but
that
them,
list.
I don't think
everybody that wanted to see the people on the list saw them.
You're saying so then you're saying you have to do it for the fans. They don't have.
You
they
don't have to, but I'm saying
the fans. Shit, they've already. I mean, look at how old this band is. They've already performed. Like maybe they want to be like, this is what we want you to remember it as. You don't need to see us old people up here playing on stage trying to do.
That's a valid reason. That's a good reason. But if that were it, I would be all about that.
Does a band have a responsibility to their fans?
No.
Well, then fuck them. Why should I support any band?
Depends what you mean as a responsibility to their fans. Like, there are responsibilities in general to the fans.
But if you aren't playing for your fans,
not to come back and play after 30 years.
Yeah, not to come back after 30 years and play, especially if you hate each other and
they don't know anybody's shit.
Yeah, and you have personal reasons and shit buried. You're not going to be like, oh, we owe it to these people that like, fuck, no, you don't owe it to shit. You don't know nothing.
Right, but I don't want to say that like bands don't owe their have responsibilities, because like if they announce something, you have a responsibility to deliver. Like once you've committed to it, I feel like you do.
But Fish feels like they love their fans and they feel like they have a responsibility to their fans. And you know how they manifested that? They finally did the Game Henge, even though they probably was not something that the whole band.
They haven't been retired for 30 years and don't hate each other. Like it's totally different.
But what does the retired have to do with anything?
Because they
fucking hate each other. They haven't done in 30 years, and it's encapsulated in a perfect like time cap. It's like exactly, you know what I mean? Like there is the perfect version of it 30 years ago. And now they come back, and that would replace.
The perfect version was probably 77 before Harrison joined, and they were a trio still.
Jason, stop fucking saying that. Apples and oranges is way better to compare than oranges and oranges or apples and apples. I don't understand this saying, and
it's a great Pink Floyd song. One of Richard Wright's best compositions for Pink Floyd. Broadway's better because Broadway just triggers Tim.
No, I'm over that now. Now my new trigger is anything that you say during a live stream. No, so I have a feeling, by the way, that this wasn't Game Henge wasn't like a big fan service thing. It was like a writer's block thing. Like they've done all these crazy big creative things, and they got in a room and they're like probably spent like a couple hours like hashing out ideas and like, fuck, we got nothing. And then one of them was like, well, we could just do Game Henge. And they're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just do it.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's take the lazy, easy way out. Right. I will say this though, Tim. It is the 31st, which means it was exactly a month ago that the show was happening, December 31st, and it still holds up as good tonight as it was.
Have you listened again?
I have. I've listened a few times. I'm not gonna lie. And watched it a few times.
I watched it when they dropped the full thing. I spent the 2 hours and sat through it, but I've only heard it live and then that.
It's still those moments still get me, Tim, that we've talked about, the drop-ins at
the Papa, the man who stepped in yesterday.
The moments when you know it's happening and the things. It's phenomenal. It's it's great.
So do you think they'll ever have an auction and you can buy like a lizard head?
Probably.
I feel like I'd love to know what they did. Like the giant helping friendly book, like the props from it. What'd they do with all the props? They need to go in like a fish museum. They just need to do a fish museum. Forget about like the Rock Hall. They need like its own
water wheel auctions, shit like that all the time. They have auctions like that. I remember a couple years ago, Fish auctioned out his muumuus, his dresses and shit.
Ooh, the original one?
You don't hear about it because you're not their target audience, Kev. We can't, neither am I. Like, we can't afford the auctions. So
let me ask you this. What do you, here's my
I hope this is a good one.
Oh boy.
This is going to be good. I
can't wait to tune in one night though and see Tim's got the multi-beast built behind him and he got off.
I'll be like, Evie's not going to college, but look at this.
Look at this thing I got. So Fishman wears new dresses every night, right?
Yeah.
Does that take away from the specialness of the thing, the fact that he wore the first dress through 97 and then he wore jeans for a year and put the dress back on with the duct tape and everything else? Now he has a fresh dress every night, and
I love that he's changed it up and done the fresh dresses. Like I love the flaming ones. I like the green and purple one. I love
the Bernie ones.
Yeah, I love that it's changed up.
The Disneyfication of Fish.
It's just not the same.
No, it's fucking hygiene, Kev.
No, it isn't. You're a rock star. Wear the same damn clothes.
It's 2024. Like, I feel like that's not a Fish thing. I feel like that's a 90s versus 2024, and like they're not a nostalgia act living in the same bullshit gimmick.
And I think for him, I mean, obviously he's made a choice that's the outfit he's comfortable in wearing, right? Like,
well, it
obviously
makes perfect sense drumming, so you don't have the constraint on
right.
Your legs
No, I
shit.
agree with him. Like I always say that to like Alex and shit when we see, like, when we went to that thing a couple weeks ago and saw like a bunch of bands play and stuff, and I was like, some of the drummers come out, you know, in a shirt and tie, like the punk rock guys that play, and I'm like, that has to be so uncomfortable. Like, I thought the reason you became a rock star was so you didn't have to wear a shirt and tie to the office, like, and now you're up there drumming. Like, to me, I would definitely be like shirtless or in like a tank top, because I feel like you want to be able to move freely and like whatever. So I totally get the dress. It makes sense. And now the fact that he's like marketing it more and wearing different dress outfits, I don't know. I totally buy into it. I like it. I think it's great.
I do too. I like it too.
Yeah,
I'm pro new dresses.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he did the whole thing with the
wrong.
one dress and the origin and everything, but it would feel forced if he still was trying to do
did
that.
it. Yeah, I agree.
You know,
can we bring back Zero Man with the bodysuit?
I think they've all taken those steps, though. I mean, look at Trey's outfits and how tailored he is. We've talked at length about Mike and how, like, you know, Foffy he's gotten and in shape and like his whole thing, and Paige does his thing with the shirts. So I mean, I think it's fine.
Man,
I like their nerdy dad style. I mean,
that is just so
shit, though.
Man,
I don't know. Like, honestly, that's just such a weird thing to be fucking like. Not you. I'm not saying like it's a good conversation, Kev. I'm not judging you, but like in general, they get really hung up on what they're fucking wearing. Like with this band, it's not important.
So often, what you wear is entwined with who your personality is as a musician. What is Kiss without the makeup? What is Johnny Rotten without a safety pin?
How do you feel about Bobby now being shoeless and wearing clam diggers and a white thing?
He's the elder. He's the tribe elder now. That's what he is, and he totally wears it. The whole beard. I love it. Bobby's look is just perfect for being.
You're okay with that and like the way he dresses every night, but you're not okay with Fishman changing his dresses every night.
I just feel like I don't know.
That actually, Kev, is why Fish wears the dresses. It's not for the freedom it provides him drumming and physically. It's so he doesn't have to fucking decide on his pretty little outfit and his accessories.
But he wears a different one every night. If he didn't have to decide, he'd wear the same one.
Lisa Simpson makes it for him. Somebody decides it and gives it to him, and he probably doesn't give a shit, and he just puts it on, and he doesn't even know if it's new or old.
Lisa Simpson? Like from the TV show?
I really don't hate you.
Kev's drinking like ciders or something tonight too. They're like 9
Pilsners. I got a good
alcohol.
Pilsner. Yeah, I got a good Pilsner.
Yes, the cartoon.
Yeah. Here,
the
Kev,
cartoon makes his dresses.
How do you feel about Mike's scarves, Kev? Is that punk rock enough for you?
I think Mike is a fashion icon. I totally dig the tennis shoes and that. I just wish he wore like jeans and a t-shirt. He could wear the scarf and the. It feels a little bit pretentious that I'm like seeing a bunch of substitute teachers play for me, you know. And then a guy in a dress, a muumuu. My fault. A guy in a muumuu.
Do you want him to just wear like regular clothes, or do you want him to wear like crazy?
I want
clothes?
the Pepe Le Pew shirt back. Pepe Le Pew, whatever that was. Bring back the Viking helmet. Yes, come on.
Pretentious. That's
I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna judge any of you guys if you're really into like fish fashion, but I'm going to strongly stake my claim in the camp of not giving a fuck. Like, I'm 100%, and I don't care what they're wearing. I barely open my eyes when I'm watching them. I just listen. If I'm, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? I don't like, you know.
I think it's an interesting correlation.
If you do care, then that's cool. Like,
I think it's an interesting. Hey, what's up, Joe? Did you see real quick? Did you see we posted the Philly show on the archive? Taper's Choices Philly shows posted now on Internet Archive.
Hey, your interview's coming out soon, right?
Do you think there'll ever be video of that?
The video is coming out. The interview is almost finished. I sent a first cut to you guys to look at. Yeah, there's a lot of Taper's Choice coming, which is good because they're kind of on hiatus right now. So we'll fill the void.
Yeah,
we got a lot of
some sneak peeks for members too.
Sneak peeks for members.
A lot of good stuff coming up. Sunday we do a show at 10 in the morning. Some of us are on there, some of us aren't. Sometimes all of us are on there. And we got the Afterfish After Show coming up.
Who agreed to let Kev do the plug?
Sometimes Kev's sober, sometimes he's not.
Sometimes Kev's sober, sometimes everybody thinks I'm high, and I am.
And they're right.
But we got lots of good stuff, and you know what? The next show coming up.
Hold on. I want to have this conversation with SC. Don't you think that the fashion matters to the band members? Some of them. That's what I think. It matters to Mike the most. Probably Trey next. I think Paige probably enjoys picking out fun bowling shirts, but really doesn't care that much. And I think Fish doesn't give a fuck. And that's like the order. And I'm also, you know, it's fine. I think the same thing with the fans. I know some fans that are like obsessed with, they wore this 3 years ago, or they never wore it. I was like, and then there's those of us who don't care. So yeah. Kev, do you want to do the plugs again?
T, do we remember what the next show was?
You don't need to plug it, man. Just tell people that we have Wook Club
Tuesday
nights.
It
was
Gorge,
a 17.
actually.
It was a 3.0 show we landed on.
I have it right here. As a matter of fact, it's 7/21/2018. The Gorge.
There was a Gorge show, so we hopefully get a good one there.
That's right.
Well, we're Frat Joe, our favorite Taper's Choice taper.
That's right. Favorite taper. He was at Dave Harrington's show last night. Got that coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen to that.
Which project?
Sweet.
Do we know which project?
What project was that? What he was playing with? Isn't he playing tomorrow night too? With another, he's got so many projects. It's awesome.
He does.
The
he
guy
did that
plays
whole thing with the one guy, and they went out into the desert.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one. Come on, Llama. Hook us up, Llama. We're dying out here.
Wait, no, it's me. We're not dying. I'm letting you fucking talk yourself into an awkward stupor.
No,
I can cut it anytime you want, but you're not going to. You're just going to keep talking.
I want Llama to tell me what the name of the album was. Dave Harrington with one other guy in the desert.
Llama's thinking. I can see him backstage thinking.
You get a review for it on wook+live.
Hold on. I got it. Let's just leave this up. Everybody stop touching the fucking comments.
You're welcome, Brian. Thank you.
You're welcome, Brian. We did it for you, man.
Thanks, SC. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone.